Knocking at night. It's one of those sounds you never want to hear when you're alone. One knock can be harmless, but when it happens again and again, your mind starts to wonder, is someone actually there, or is it something that shouldn't be? Tonight we'll look at 4 true horror stories about mysterious knocks in the dead of night. This story comes from Ria, a college student living in a girls' hostel. It was a freezing winter night, and most of the students had gone to sleep. Ria was still awake, typing an assignment on her laptop, when she heard it, Addie Dermangaff. "We a sco ass." Someone was at her door. She figured it was her roommate returning late, so she opened it. But the hallway was empty. In the turnum of selves, the hallway went to her did not. She shut the door, slightly unsettled, but a few minutes later, the knocking came again, this time louder. Explanation. Even the entire Foster walked off of a positive lodgers to disgust her door exhalidate of her laptop between the 141 Fafster in the one console late. She opened the door quickly, hoping to catch whoever it was. Again, nothing. Only this time, she thought she saw something at the far end of the corridor, a tall, thin figure, standing perfectly still. Cossid behind some time, his scented splawn. She backed over her teeth. When she respected something standing in the daughter when sud. She backed into her room and locked the door. In the morning, she told the warden, "Now, if you have summer-scented figure, walked off of a Cossid door when she had present my host." The warden's response? "That wing is empty at night. No one lives there." Rahul was riding his motorbike home from a friend's house. The road cut straight through dense forest, no streetlights, no houses. Around 12:30 a.m. he heard it, a faint tap on his helmet. He brushed it off, thinking maybe a branch had hit him. But as he sped up, the tapping came again. This time harder. He checked his rearview mirror, and for just a split second, he saw what looked like a pale hand resting on the back of his helmet. Then, nothing. He didn't stop until he reached his building. He parked the bike, took off his gloves, and that's when it happened again. A single, loud knock directly on the helmet still in his hand. This story is from an elderly woman, Mrs. Maida. She lived alone in a small apartment building. One night around 1 a.m., she heard knocking, but it wasn't on her door. It was on her neighbor's. At first, she thought maybe someone needed help, but the knocking didn't stop. Slowly, it moved down the hall, and then to her own door. She looked through the peephole. A person stood outside, but their face was completely black. Not a mask, not a shadow, just gone. She called the police immediately. By the time they arrived, no one was there. Only a few small drops of blood on the wooden doorframe. Amit was on a business trip, staying in an old hotel. At 2 a.m., there was a knock at his door. He opened it. No one. He called reception to report it, but the receptionist said, "Sir, you're the only guest on that floor." He tried to sleep, but then the knocking started again. Only this time, it was on the window. The problem was, his room was on the 6th floor. No balcony, no ledge, just an empty drop to the street below. He slowly walked to the window and saw a pale, bony hand suspended in midair, knocking against the glass. Knocking in the night isn't always a neighbor. Sometimes, it's something you should never open the door for.